Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Business Podcast, your source for all things business. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today's a very special Reunion 2020 episode. What is that? That's when I had a guest on in the past, and I liked them so much I had to bring them right on back. So today's special return guest is Courtney Aura Freeman, who's president and CEO over at White Buffalo. Courtney, welcome back to the show.
Oh, it's so exciting to be back, Adam. Thank you for having me. I love seeing your developments and visiting with you again. It's wonderful.
I'll tell you what I don't love. How did I say your middle name wrong? It's Aura. I think I said Aurora. Sorry about that. I mean, how can we forget the aura that is Courtney? So, again, welcome back. So, I want to...
Aurora.
Well, thank you. But let's get started. I want to get into what you're doing. I mean, we have a lot of exciting news today. I know you launched a new course. We're going to get into that. Want to do a nice deep dive. But before we do that, let's get into what you're doing over at White Buffalo for the new listeners that weren't able to catch your first episode.
Sure. So we have a few different verticals. Everything is related to cannabis and the new era of plant medicine. We do a lot of education. We produce events to build community. We've got a new House of Jane event series. It's kind of a satellite, and our next event will be April 1st in Palm Springs. And then we have an e-commerce site where we provide products, CBD skincare. We have Ganja yoga gear. Ganja yoga is sweeping the nation. A great way to get connected, deepen your stretch, really be present to your practice. We have some new yoga styles there, and we're launching some new swimwear styles as well. We have a original botanical illustration to represent cannabis in a more elevated light, and we're coming out with some new colors and some new designs for resort season, which is happening right now. And then we have our consulting business, cannaproductconsulting.com, and we work with businesses to bring products to market. It's a turnkey solution, so if you need licensing, we support you with a team to walk you through licensing. And then we also develop the products, compliant packaging, go-to-market strategy, product launch. It's really a whole, from the conception all the way to market with distribution, and we guide you through that process.
Oh, that's awesome. You're staying busy. I love it. It's great stuff. Let's get into this to this new course. So, how to bring a product to market for less than $100K. Where do you want to start with this one? Because I know there's a lot of people listening that want to accomplish that.
Well, let's talk about the inspiration. For me, my inspiration in working in this industry and being a part of this movement is really about healing and bringing medicine to the people and really educating, because we live in a time when we have regulation coming in for legalization, both medical and adult use, but we don't have a lot of education behind it, unfortunately. So we really want to fill in those blanks as a community, as people who care about where this industry is going, and that's a big part of it. And then we're identifying that there's a need for education also in terms of industrial factors. People are very excited about what's happening with CBD, and they want to bring products to market. And just leveraging our experience, I myself, just as one member of the team, I worked as a director on product compliance for a global medicinal cannabis manufacturer. So I'm coming from the world of medicine. We had a research program in Israel, and I've seen a lot of that data that's come through, and I've seen amazing results in patients having benefits for their health on so many levels. And so coming from that space, we're supporting people with education on how to bring their own products to market, and also letting just, the other areas of our expertise, which is marketing, product and packaging, and then also the event production. So that's kind of the inspiration for it. We thought, how do we support this and the growth of the industry? And education, regardless of your industry, is such a hot topic now, and it's really a great opportunity to monetize, but also to connect with your consumer and to connect with other business leaders to support, where we're going with this industry.
What are some of give us a little bit of a sample for some of the content. Obviously, I want everybody to go and buy it, number one, and we don't have time to go in it anyway, all of it. But that being said, give us a little sample of some of the things that people that do go over and purchase it can expect to get out of it.
Sure. So there's a few issues that kind of face our industry. So we kind of start out with an intro, talking about what you're thinking when you enter the industry, because whether you're doing cannabis or you're looking at CBD, there's a lot of new developments coming through. Right now there's legislation coming through that will potentially support CBD as a dietary supplement. And the nutraceutical industry is huge. They're very interested in getting this advancement. So a lot of people are interested in that aspect. So we're talking a little bit about the industry. Are you sure you want to do this? Here's what you're facing. And then, yes, if you want to move through, these are some of the things that we need to address. But then it also gets down to a little bit like brass tacks, more practical. We're looking at potency for your product. How to build, we have a spreadsheet that we provide as a free tool, how to build out your product so you know what your inputs are in terms of manufacturing and identify what the full need is in terms of all of the components that will go into your product. And then we also walk through just the logistics. So I have a few experts that are coming in to share information. One of those is an individual who's very knowledgeable in terms of vaporizer tech. So the actual technology, the device that you might use to vape a product, for example. And then someone else that also has a CBD skincare and has been involved with the industry for many years from the dispensary level to come in and talk about a few other points there. So it's very hands-on, and we've built it out in a few different modules. So we'll be introducing the first module, and with that, we are going to offer a special code for Mission Matters, so people can come and pre-register, get information if they want to, and that way we can further support your audience as well.
Man, that's awesome. And so what is that code? Let's just get right into it. So how do people, if they want to learn more and then they want to connect either with White Buffalo for the services that you're offering there, or of course to go to your course and start learning from you directly, what's the best way for them to connect?
Well, if they want to come through for the course, cannaproductconsulting.com. If they just scroll down to the bottom of the page, there's a link there for the pre-registration for the course, and they can just use code Mission Matters, and we'll give them 10% off on that first module. And then otherwise, whitebuffalospirit.org is our e-commerce. whitebuffalocannabis.com/events is where they can learn about all of our upcoming and exciting events for the cannabis industry, both in California and beyond.
Awesome. And let's just take a minute or two for this last bonus thing. I do want to touch on it just a little bit, that SB 34 Compassionate Use Act. Tell us a little bit more.
Oh, yes, this is so important. Okay, so in California, with our 2018 regulations that came through, unfortunately, a compassionate use, which is essentially companies are able to give products to medical patients to support. We have what we're calling the sin tax. We kind of made a deal with the devil so that we'll pay a lot of taxes, but we want legalization, we want safe access, and we want really consistent products so that patients get what they need. But unfortunately, we don't have health insurance covering cannabis products, and that means that medical patients that choose to use cannabis aren't able to really afford it. It can be extremely expensive. So with what's happening now, SB 34, the Compassionate Use Act, we're also calling it the Dennis Peron and Brownie Mary Act. They were very instrumental activists in San Francisco. They supported AIDS patients with getting cannabis medicine to resolve some of their symptoms and really help with their healing and their overall experience. This bill is giving businesses back the opportunity to support patients with products, with medicine. And the way that people can access that is they need to have a state medical ID card. And then currently the California government is working through a few pieces because all of the products, all of the medicine has to go through a track and trace program. And they're finalizing some of the details there so that can come into play. And the dispensaries and the manufacturers are shaking hands on ways to facilitate this as well. The bill does allow for some support in terms of the expenses for product production. So it's mitigating some of the costs there as well. So this is a huge development for California, and hopefully it'll serve as a model as other new states come online for how we can make sure that our patients are protected and have safe access and they can afford the medicine that they deserve.
Oh, that's awesome, Courtney. So I had to get that in there before we ended this. So just want to thank you for coming back as a return guest, Courtney. Always a pleasure to catch up, and congrats on your new course and all the great work you're doing over at White Buffalo. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget, subscribe to the podcast. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Business, definitely give that a subscribe and leave us some comments in the comment section of the video. Don't let the conversation end here. Love to keep it going over in our YouTube community. And Courtney, thanks again for coming back on the show.